About that big brick house, I played a lot of baseball out back. It was my summer salvation. That's when the Cardinals became my team, as they were for my dad. He couldn't wait to take me to my first big league game, though by the time I was old enough, he'd had so many heart attacks, he couldn't walk up the ramps at Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
2 strikes and a ball. The pitch to K-Line. Got him!
On the opening day of the 1968 World Series, Cards and Tigers, the day Bob Gibson set a strikeout record.
He got him!
My dad, home for lunch and to see the game on TV, sat in his recliner and died of a final massive heart attack. He never did get that game in. Now that I'm a father, the ballpark in St. Louis has a different meaning for me. Not of big league sports, but of small, distant memories. Of another father who was kept from a simple joy by something as humble as a concrete slab.
Last August, my wife Holly and I got to bring our little boy, Will, 2 years old, to his first Cardinals game. Cardinals and the Braves. We sat way up here in the top row. Will got to have his first big league hot dog that night, a slice of pizza and popcorn, and the Cardinals came from 6 runs behind to beat the Braves.
That one deep into center.
Mark McGuire hit homer 55 on his way to 70. Will got a kick out of all the cheering.
The game went into the record books that night as a sellout, standing room only. But surprisingly, this seat next to me went unfilled, and no one will ever be able to tell me any different. I think someone was sitting here that night, carried over the turnstiles on angel's wings, up the ramps and the staircases that he couldn't negotiate in life. I think my father got to see a baseball game with me that night, and for waiting 30 years, got to enjoy it with his daughter-in-law and his grandson, too.
Baseball will always be the game my father taught me to love. The Cardinals always my team, because they were his. It's one small way to keep him in my life, kind of like a trip back home, where each of us leaves behind things most precious, where we're given our bearings and made who we are, where the most soothing words in the language echo always. Welcome home. In Collinsville, Illinois, where I grew up, Scott Thompson, the Oklahoma Traveler.
Oh. Wow, almost leaves you speechless, doesn't it? You know, Scott is such a wonderful writer, but I have to say, looking at those pictures, he looks just like his son, Will.
I know, or Will looks just like him.
Well, him,
I guess
yes, exactly. They look like twins. What a wonderful family.
Great
All
little
the
boy.
stories have been great.
Gives a new perspective. Well.